Good morning, everyone. Glad you're here on this wonderful rainy day. It's so beautiful out. Well, I'd like to say if there's anyone new here today, we have a beautiful blue packet on the back wall that has a lot of really great information for you. And we have 3.5 acres here that are in bloom that are so gorgeous back there, even though it's raining. But Charlie and I or Christy would love to take you on a tour of the grounds if you'd like to do that afterwards. Just come up and say, I want a tour, and we'll just hop right to it. We have an opening song by Judy Preble. Judy, glad you're here. Congregation? Oh, they all have the words. Okay, great. That is beautiful. Thank you, Judy. I'm Reverend Dr. Mary Mitchell, and I'm a practitioner here, retired minister, but a practitioner here. And we have Christy Carr here, and Charlie and myself. We'd be happy to do the treatment for you afterwards by the bell. We have birthdays. I guess last week we didn't announce birthdays, Judy. So anybody with a birthday in April? No? Okay. Are you sure? No? No one? One?
It's my son, Chris.
Oh, Chris. Well, we got to sing to Chris. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chris. Sweet name. Happy birthday to you. Thank you. Oh, that was sweet. Very sweet. Chris, you live in Portland, don't you? Yeah, so it's really nice to have you come by. I know your mom's really thrilled. Really thrilled. All right, I'd like to thank other people who came early. We have Shems and, our choir director hi. It's a soundproof. And then we have Ray Garland and Marty Buto at greeting you. We'll have the kitchen cookies later in the social hall. And Judy, we had a guest musician who couldn't come at the last minute, so she said, I'll do it. So thank you, Judy. That's really nice. Yeah. All right, we have children here today to come up. All right, come on up, children. And as they come up, please turn and wave to the world out there who's watching us on YouTube and other ways. Reverend Andrea Azevedo is coming very soon, and she's the one that instituted that when she was here as our senior minister. And every guest minister who's come since then has been so in awe of how we honor our children. So I thank her for that. All right. Please silence your phone if you wouldn't mind. Thank you. And we have some announcements, of course. May 1st is the deadline for an application to apply for a grant to help make something more beautiful or expand something here at the center. The applications are at the board desk. And the center now has its own QR code, those little square boxes that you see on everything. So if you, however you use that, it takes you right into our website, which is really great. Exploring membership after the service, about, I'd say 11:15 in the meeting room in the office. I'll be talking about what it means to be a member of the center. And if you'd like to join me with that, it's about an hour long. Get something in the social hall, bring it in, and we'll chat and have a little brochure that you'll get, and you'll learn more about who we are. Irene Bulmer, what an amazing person. She brings crystal balls here, puts them in a big circle, makes them sing as you do meditation. And it affects all your chakras. So she'll be here again Friday, April 19th, 6:30 to 8. And then Reverend Andrea, when she comes, with Reverend Sue, are going to have Sacred Sisters Women's Day, honoring Earth Day, Saturday, April 20th, from 10 to 4. And I wish I could come to this because they're going to be creating mandalas and with a shared spiritual practice and enjoy poetry and song and storytelling. And it's going to be a really wonderful day. So sign up for that if you have time. And then Sunday, Reverend Andrea will be giving the talk. And afterwards, the talk is called The Uncharted Territories of Inner Truth. And so she'll also be doing a workshop after that called Through the Secret Door, The Mystic's Way of Receiving Guidance and Connection with the Divine. And if there's anybody in the world that I know that does that extremely well, it's her. So I wouldn't miss that for anything. And then we have Speak Your Truth, Poetry and Prose, open mic night, Friday, April 26th with Stephen Shem Smith. He's back on the sound team, Friday from 7 to 9, to sing, to speak, read poetry, whatever is your gift. And then we're having a plant and bulb sale Sunday, April 28th to May 5th, to share your surplus of plant bulbs or plants. So bring them in and everyone can share in your delight of having a very wonderful garden in your yard. Let's see, more shoes. Oh, Charlie and Sue. At the Convention Center in May, they are welcoming all the homeless for many services, and we like to offer them shoes. And it's really magnificent. So if you have any pair of shoes that you think a homeless person would appreciate, so we want them nice, no holes, they have enough holes in their shoes, and then we'll take them over there and give them away. And having worked with that program for so long, the expressions that people have when they get a pair of shoes that fit and are nice, it's priceless, absolutely priceless. So hopefully you can help participate in that. All right, we're going to welcome new members. We have 2 new members, Sandy Harrison and Dawn Crafel. Come on up.
Look, we're all tall. All tall, we're all tall. That's a Dr. Seuss book, yeah. You want to get up there, Mary? It is a delight to welcome these 2 beautiful women. This lovely Sandy and I have worked together many years at Shasta Regional, and she has a way of being with people where they feel like they're the only one present in the whole world, because she gives her full heart and attention to them, and she bakes amazing pies. And So we are so fortunate to have her make that choice to join us after these many years. So I really, when I saw her name show up, I was just so pleased because she has already been a part of the community, but now our hearts grow even closer. So I appreciate you and value you. And this chick, I can call her a chick. Aren't I cool? No, so, and Dawn, she came when she was one of those faces of God, weren't you? Yeah, just a little one. We sang to her. She's the face of God, and she has returned as the face of God. And she has a goal ahead of her. She can share that on her own, but I am so pleased she's invested herself here. And if anybody on Facebook saw the beautiful posting that she did of our grounds, wow, it was just beautiful. Everybody was tagging it and passing it on because its landscape team loved it. It was the beauty. It was our tulips. It was our flowers growing and our statues, and she did an exquisite job. So I just welcome both of these women. I'm just delighted that they have chosen to be a deeper part of who we are. And Mary cultivated this moment. So Mary, do you want to say anything?
Cultivated.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. Well, years ago, when Sue and I were co-senior ministers between ministers that left, I was the admin person. And I went through every box in every nook and corner, every file, everywhere, upstairs, downstairs, in the back, and put together the history of this church. And it was so delightful. And so it's the history from 1971 to 2014. And so I like to give it to new members because there's the history, and you'll find your parents in there, I'm sure, in some way. But it's a good read, and I'm just so proud of all the people over the years that have participated here.
So there is your membership card. There is yours, Dawn, and welcome. Everybody had a great time last night. Yeah, it was. Dawn was the one that led, as you know, some of you saw her announce it, but she had her event last night, and it was so well received, Dancing with Spirit, and it's going to happen again, and you don't want to miss it. It was funny because Charlie and, well, I'll just call them the chair crew, right? The chair crew, two people, Susan with a Z and Charlie, set the church back up this morning, and they found lots of earrings. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? That's a wild dance. Thank you.
That's really interesting. All right. So now we'll have a reading, and Lori will do that for us. And then we'll have the bell, and that is to take the reading into your heart. What pieces of that reading touch you this morning? Then I'll do a spiritual mind treatment, and then Reverend Sue will talk about, this will be a good one, mirror, mirror on the wall. All right, Lori?
The reading is chosen by Reverend Sue, of course, and it starts with a quote. I have made a ceaseless effort not to ridicule, not to bewail, not to scorn human actions, but to understand them. Spinoza. And this is a story. Two families lived nearby. One family had constant quarrels and were pretty unhappy, and the other couple lived in relative peace and wellness. One day, feeling jealous about the nice atmosphere that flourished in the neighboring family, the wife told her husband, "Go to the neighbors and look what they are doing for such well-being." The husband went to the neighbor's house, hid outside a window, and started watching. He saw a woman who was wiping the floor in a room. Suddenly, something distracted her, and she ran to the kitchen. At that time, her husband walked into the room. He did not notice the bucket of water and kicked it, so the water overflowed. Then his wife came back from the kitchen and said, "I'm sorry, honey. It's my fault you stubbed your toe because I left the bucket out." "No, dear, it's my fault because I didn't notice it." The man returned home, where the wife asked, "Did you see why those people seemed so happy?" Her husband replied, "Yeah, I guess so. It seems that while we are always trying to be right and make each other wrong, those folks are less interested in blaming each other for things and are more interested in just being with each other."
As we sing, you are the face of God to the children. Each day it's important to look at our mirror and see the face in God in us. That's why we were created. Created with a love so great and so deep. We see the presence, the loving kindness of God in everyone. And as I accept that for myself and everyone this morning, the rain feels more like a fresh spring rain to help the flowers grow. The cool air reminds us that there's heat coming. Enjoy the day today. And the music that Judy plays reminds us of just being with the moment, in the present moment. So as we mirror life all around us, we mirror the love of God around us. And in that we have inner peace, such a deep, deep inner peace. We are so grateful for being able to do that today and always. Great thanks to you, Infinite Presence, for bringing this into existence. We are so pleased and happy and in love with it. And so it is. Reverend Sue.
Yeah, good morning again. So, sorry, son. I wasn't going to point out that it was his birthday because that's embarrassing. I didn't do it. I didn't even look at him when they said, "Who's got a birthday?" Charlie did it. But he is so loved, and I'm just, Charlie and I are both so happy to spend time with him. I'm encouraging him to do some music here one day, so Gwen, I need to get him hooked into the cycle, because he does some beautiful, beautiful original pieces. The gentle way is what we're talking about this month, and there was a marketing teaser that comes from the CSL, Center for Spiritual Living organization, and it says it very clearly: we are reflections of each other. As we cultivate gentleness for ourselves, we begin to recognize love expressing itself as the others in our lives. So we're going to poke around that idea just a little bit together today. And so I chose this title, Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. And I thought, oh, Sue, aren't you so clever? That was last month. This month I go, that's so corny. But as I thought about it more yesterday, as I was preparing my time with you, I thought, I'm going to just throw this idea out to everyone for this mirror work in the midst of ideas about the gentle way. Because whenever I have pulled out handheld mirrors at retreats or workshops with various people? Ew, you would think that I pulled out some evil tool. You know, I watch this shadow of gloom come over everybody like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to look in a mirror. Seriously, look in a mirror? I don't want to do that. And yet, I don't let them have an out. We all join in. And it is sensitive work. Mirror work is sensitive. I don't know how many of you get up in the morning and look yourself right in the eye and say, "Good morning, beautiful," or "handsome." Or if you even notice them, except, way to go. There's one person in here that gave a thumbs up. Oh, 2 up, very good. I love to hear that. Yeah, it's a challenge sometimes because you want to just kind of bypass the mirror. But there it is, greeting you in all of your perfection as you show up in that day. But it can be a willingness to also be vulnerable, which is something we talk about here a lot. Spirituality is really a walk into the field of being vulnerable. And I thought, I could really have them have this experience right now by telling you that underneath every chair is a little mirror taped underneath there. Just got to reach. No? Nobody's even looking. All right, I'm glad I didn't take the time. But if you realize, just try it out, to stare in the mirror. But look what you're looking for. You're looking for the eyes of the beloved. You're looking for the divine within you. It's not in this philosophy, it's not an external being that we are worshiping up in the heavens. Because God is all the way present, everywhere, omnipresent, in and through each and every one of us. So, I want you to think back about this fairy tale and that evil stepmother. Do you recall the story? For she was always standing in front of her mirror, right? Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? We all going, yeah. I remember that. And of course, the mirror was influenced by this queen, by her ego, and it would always respond that she was, right? Until that one day when Snow White's image had appeared, and the mirror of truth could not lie. Now imagine the shock of that and that inner restlessness when so many years you were convinced of your specialness, that you did nothing to shift your behavior of always also wanting to be right and wanting to be the center of attention. Now as I was thinking about this, I thought, that's how we kind of raise our children for a while. And then we try to turn it around on them when they're in junior high. But don't be so full of yourself. You're not the center of attention. And it's like, wait, what? I have been all my life until now. What happened between yesterday and today? And I remember this especially in sports, when the kids all got to play soccer. Remember, everybody got a chance to kick the ball, to be the star. And then high school came, and they got a little picky on who got to join the team. And a lot of moments of a young child's life changed in those moments of feeling good enough. So I don't know how else we would have done it, but it's something to consider about how that has affected our lives, and maybe you're one of those. So realize now also that now this mirror that the stepmother was looking in was actually trying to reveal something deeper for her to see. It came in a time of her life. You need to see this now. And so the mirror was saying, it is in this other that the qualities of beauty are shining forth. It was a face of openness, Snow White's face, of gentleness and love that she saw in the other. She could not accept that. She allowed jealousy to blind her heart, to blind her vision. Yet, all in all, it was exactly what she really wanted at a soul level, was to be that beautiful and that real. That spiritual moment about seeing the truth of who you really are is more than who you think you are. Now, Ram Dass influences me a lot with this. I've read a lot of his books, and I'm going to share at our closing from Polishing the Mirror a beautiful meditation that lightly touches on this. The stepmother had a choice. She had a choice, and she chose wrong. She decided to destroy the message instead of asking the deeper questions. So if you feel the familiarity of certain questions that might have been probing youth, listen deeply, listen with reverence to your own stories, because you know how the rest of the story unfolds about Snow White and the Queen. There's an author, Peter Santos, and he said it just in this one statement: judgment is one of the ego tools to foster separation through comparison. Oh, that one. How often we get the tinge of jealousy, and then we're realizing that in that jealousy we are separating ourselves. So pause today and look deeply into you and ask, am I seeking validation through the mirrors I am looking through? Am I seeking validation everywhere I turn? Because I don't need to stick mirrors under your chairs. This universe, your experiences are already doing that better than any gimmick I could come up with. Everything that you sense and feel, your deepest pains are revealing back to you where your healing is, what you must do. So the profound work here is going to lead us into that holy space that we long for, but we have to be humble. We have to be humble in order to see. And it's that sacred space. It's a sacred space that reveals the truth, the absolute truth of our true nature, and is revealing what is our way, what is our unique way to connect our oneness with this divine knowing, so that there is always the heartbeat of peace and acceptance in our being. Ernest Holmes joins us in knowing this. Ultimately, we shall see that the universe rests on the shoulders of love, that God is love, and that all errors of humans are the result of ignorance of our true nature. An evolved soul judges no one, condemns no one, but realizes that all are on the road of experience. So here we are with these unique human bodies, and we sometimes forget we're instruments. We're fine-tuned instruments of the divine, and there's a universal energy that is downloading through us as us called life. And it's our bodies that are responsive to that divine givingness of love. Divine givingness is what Ernest Holmes describes love is. It's always outpouring, it's always giving. But our bodies, and we know this, it recoils, it shrinks in response when we bump up against the unskillful ways of those around us, of something that we're witnessing. Now, you know that feeling when your heart just kind of clamps down. It could be so quick, it can be so subtle, but there it was. Charlie was doing a prayer for me on my way here, because I've been very confused with a lot of things going on everywhere. And I said, I just need some clarity. And then he was going through this beautiful prayer, but then one word was mentioned that has been a challenge. And I said, ooh, there's that one, and it just, whoop. But then I opened back up because I wanted to receive the gift of his prayer. His prayers really lead me in and every day. So you know that feeling of your heart, and we call them triggers. In yoga, we learned the term that they are samskaras, and some of the people that have studied some of the advanced spirituality have understood that term. That term becomes very important as the idea of what a samskara is, and it's a wonderful way to understand a spiritual concept. It's breaking the word down. The psalm means well planned and thought out, and the kara means the action taken. So literally, it's what is left is the impression or the impact of an action that one time or another we have performed at that moment with full awareness. And it's also motivated by love or by your ego. So some of those samskaras have a stink to them. Some of those samskaras, they lie so dormant, you don't even realize you're walking around like a bundle of samskara until you do your spiritual practice, until you still your mind, and still you lay as quietly as you can, and then let it surface. Let it come to your awareness. Let it mirror back to you what your work is to do, what needs to be released. That's where it's very helpful. We all want to live a good life with good intentions. And our body has become the storehouse of all of these memories, and that is gently influencing us every single day, every single moment. But if we took, at one time or another, an intentional action for our own benefit and caused a distortion in what we know is true, that samskara is going to hold that energy. It's going to hold it until we reveal it. So, and it also can be created by the intentions or by a wound of another, and you didn't deal with it. So it got buried someplace inside of you. But the good news here is spiritual life is asking us to evolve, ask the questions, but also answer them. We could get bogged down by just continually saying, why? But what is mine to know? What is mine to know? And then allow your roots of suffering to heal in the most gentle manner. And if you want to know more about who you truly are and what you do, you will be drawn to the truth. And it's mirrored back. It's always mirrored back. It's a gentle reminder from the universe. But if you allow your view to stay so narrow and you cling to wanting to be right no matter what the story was, you're going to be attached to a level of suffering that is challenging the truth to filter through into your experience. And you're ignoring the messenger. You're ignoring the mirror in the morning or in the evening. So Mark Nepo describes how, this is in 7,000 Ways to Listen, but he describes what this feels like no other person can. And what I appreciate, if I can get to the right page here, is how he starts off. It's in the hut we call the South. So close your eyes for a minute and feel like you're sitting at the fire listening to a story. I've been listening way inside, where the universe rushes through me like the wind through a hole in an old door in a hut near the edge of a cliff. I've been going there, listening, on the inner edge of everything. There, I've heard two irrevocable truths. The truth of the very fact of it, how it comes out of nowhere like a strong breeze to lift our faces, and how it goes on its way. And the truth of how life, like a storm, can rough up our hearts, how we have no choice but to feel that wind move through us and around us. Trying to give words to this is difficult, but the first truth can be offered as the truth of things as they are, as the truth of things as they are, and the second as the experience of being human, as the experience of being human. These have become my teachers, trying to accept the nature of what is and trying not to deny the impact. So when you ask, What are we here for? I've stopped by this wind which rushes through the hole in my heart from this far down. It's like asking the cliff itself, what is it here for? We might say to hold up the world. The cliff might say to be the world. I can only say that my heart and eyes and mind keep being worn open. So we're not alone, and we don't have nothing to fear as we allow that idea to just be with what is and find the deeper message. So what's getting your attention these days? And Ram Dass is helpful here. He says, part of the process of awakening is recognizing that the realities we thought were absolute are only relative. All you have to do is shift from one reality to another. Only once, and your attachment to what you thought was real starts to collapse. Once the seed of awakening sprouts in you, there's no choice. There's no turning back. This is the clever hint he's giving us of awakened thought. And actually, we already know that reality as we see it is all relative to our perceptions, to what we've downloaded and accepted in our own experience as true. But he reminded me of this song, and you know it too. This song was sang to us many years ago. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Life is but a dream. Row, row, row yourself gently down the streams. Life is a dream. So polishing the mirror is connecting our thinking mind with our spiritual heart, and it will never deceive you. It won't leave you astray if you bear witness that life experiences from a place of being in this observer witness state. You will see the truth. You will become conscious of what is influencing you unconsciously. You will stir up those seeds. You will stir those samskaras. You will stir up what you need to be revealed. And what you become conscious of, you can heal. So quieting your mind and being the observer, filling your heart with compassion and forgiveness, this is what I'm saying, is the gentle way. But as you cultivate this way of being with yourself, you are actually cultivating this compassion for all beings. That's the beautiful moment that you can know that this isn't all about just healing yourself, because then you'll start to see the world in a kinder way and you will respond more kindly, even to the annoying people, because they're still going to startle you and they still might bruise you. But if you stay in your heart and you take that deeper breath and you say, I am only choosing love. I'm allowing love to respond here in return. Because if we step back, we realize that humanity is full of wonderful people who are loving. Many, many people are easy to be with. And that's kind of how we like it. And that's why sometimes we get triggered when somebody falls outside of that. Because there are the bullies who are loud, opinionated, and they're very full of being right and pointing out how wrong you are. But judgment here becomes the two-way street. We want to blame the world on them, on those people. That's why we're suffering, because of them. But if you pause long enough and you enter that kingdom of judgments, just be gentle with yourself. Take that pause. Anchor right then in a spiritual truth that centers you. I choose now. I choose now to respond with love. I choose now to keep my heart open. I know there's a gentle way. And I can polish the mirror of what is being reflected back to me. And I know what to do to take care of myself. Again, Ernest Holmes, when we let the love that is within us go out to the God who is in all people, then we are loving God with all our heart and with all our soul and mind, because we are recognizing that the Spirit within us is the same Spirit that we meet in others. This is loving our neighbors as ourselves. So the teaching of science of mind is refreshing as we perceive the world as a mirror of our own ideas, beliefs, judgments. And relationships that are front and center are the key moments for you each to recognize, for me to recognize, as we walk in and out of relations feeling a certain way. And in those feelings, about what is that we have control over, and we learn that we can master however we approach it in a kinder way of being in the world but not of it. So let's not waste another day, another morning, breaking another mirror because you can't stand what you see, whether it's a physical mirror or the mirror of another human being before you. Let's not hit ourselves with the mirror because it reveals a previous experience that caused us suffering. No. Let's just polish it. Let's just keep polishing that mirror with insights of gentle love that are always forever washing through each and every one of us as you. Look again into the mirror. After you've done your good personal work and you'll see that this is true, you will see love looking back at you. It's very touching. You get past your own face and you just go into the eyes, the holy eye that can see the deepest truth and how all the tender stories of your heart were shaped, then begun to shift in their understanding. And here we have Don Miguel Ruiz. Everything is in existence is a manifestation of the one living being we call God, Spirit, mystery. Everything is God. Everything is a mirror that reflects light and creates images of that light. The real us is pure love, pure light. All the sadness and drama you have lived in your life was rooted in making assumptions and taking things personally. Our whole dream of hell is based on that. So you hear those agreements. Not to take things personally, that's such a big one. I sometimes wonder, if he never wrote that, would I feel better? But it's such a true one. Not to take it personally and not to make assumptions. We have to let go. I appreciate the song. We release and we let go. We let go of caring for ourselves in such a way, or we're not letting go of caring for ourselves, but we're allowing a steering of our ways to not confront abusive situations with others. We're not going to engage. That's not mine. I don't want to go there. That's not my truth. That's not my experience. I don't want to go there. You can be so gentle and get out of the conversations that seem to be confrontational, where you feel like you got to persuade somebody. Just be the example. Be the example of being gentle along the way. Because you know who you want to be. And you know that the unknown stories that you wrestle with, they also lie deep and dormant in the other. They have abuse, they have trauma. And it's most likely something that you will never have the privilege to know. The Dalai Lama reminds us the moment you develop a sense of concern for others, you can realize that just like yourself, they also want happiness. They also want satisfaction. So we notice this mirror work. And if you have, think about this, if you have one of those mirrors that magnifies everything, I really wanted one, and then when I got it, it's still in the box. And it revealed so much, and I keep trying to get my daughter, don't you want this? Because I spent a lot of money on it. Don't you want this? But you realize that those are so much more distressing when a blemish appears or something, and you're too close to it then, right? You're too close to it and everything looks horrible. And you want to maybe demand some kind of surgical repair or something. But you realize, no, my view is distorted. It's the same for everything in life. If we get too close, we distort it. We distort the message, and we can't gain our perspective. And it gets confusing. We need spaciousness. We need spaciousness to get the full picture, the full idea of what is. And meditation is what is helpful here. And some of you say, I don't know how to meditate. Yes, you do, because your soul knows. And you're often meditating without yourself realizing it. It could be those moments you just stare, and you keep staring. And people say, ooh, they're zoned out. No, you're in a space. You're in a space. And allowing yourself to see clearly, not to respond immediately, but allow the insights to rise up through you. And any sense of being bewildered or insecure in yourself, allow it to just let your heart lead. Let your heart lead your responses. Because you always know you can get counseling, you can journal, you can come see any of the practitioners to pray support for you. Come see the ministers. There's always a way, there's always someone that will love you back and listen. So Don Miguel, those 4 agreements, take it too personal to a fault, then choose from an open heart. You can rest in knowing that you're making the right decision then, because it's your soul nature. So many beautiful quotes from Ernest Holmes about this compassion and caring are the ties that bind us together in a mutual understanding and a unified attempt to uncover the divinity in each other. So it's timeless wisdom. He wrote it years and years and years ago, but today it's so timely as we meet one another along the way. Compassion and caring is tying us together. And the divine givingness, the divine quality of love is what is going to lead all our hearts. Ernest Holmes' love is kind, gentle, and understanding. It is tolerant of others, reaches back through the indifferences and the coldness in life to something warm, to something pulsating at the very center of everything. Because none of us is perfect in the moments that we're trying to express ourselves. There's a deep soul perfection that is always whispering a better way. So let us be courageous enough to rise to love in being charitable in our responses to one another. And finally, with Ernest Holmes, when we let the love that is within us go out to the God who is in all people, then we are loving God with all our heart, with all our soul, with all our mind. Because we are recognizing the Spirit within us is the same Spirit that we meet in others. That is loving our neighbors. So here we are at another message about being at the edge of letting go, being at the edge of your own pain. Don't be afraid, because you're not alone there. We'll always have someone to lean on. Difficult to be independent of all others because relationships just happen when you need them. But loving ourselves here is the key. Keep loving yourself and allow it to, that divine givingness to welcome itself into you. Trust in it. Let it give birth to the compassion and know that you're on your journey doing your best. Does that sound like Don Miguel again? Always do your best. So, in closing, I'm going to do a brief meditation to take you. It's a Ram Dass polishing the mirror. I'm just going to paraphrase it some. But I would love to see your sacred vow this week lead you into the next moments to remind yourself, wait, I'm choosing today, I'm choosing this moment, a vow that's personal to me, but to allow every moment to stay gentle with myself and extend that same kindness to others. Catch yourself in the moment. Clean it up right away. When a curse comes upon your lips, change it to a blessing. It can be as simple as, may you be peaceful, may you be well. May I be peaceful, may I be well. The inner light will lead us, always leading us. Because, remember this song, Paul McCartney? When the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. I wake up to the sound of music, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. See how soft that is? Let it be. Let it be. So join with me. Feel yourself shifting into a space of connection. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. Eyes wide open if that's comfortable for you. But feel yourself sitting here. Feel the love of the person before you, behind you, to the sides of you. We're all one. We've all had our hearts broken. But here today, we're focusing on our heart in the very middle of our being. We're breathing in, out, as if it was the heart alone that was taking the breath, breathing in, breathing out, breathing deeply. We're seeking purity. And the more we engage with the holy breath, with that intentional breath, we gather the holy ones. We gather those that we have kept the company of for a lifetime, who have brought us counsel and wisdom and solace. We call that in. We have that connection as we center ourselves in the heart of our heart, and we breathe, and we are willing to be open. And now we recognize that the gathering of the beloveds, of the wisdom of the ancients, of our ancestors, of those that are no longer with us, but their words, their words of truth are so gentle, so healing, and they all merge into a golden light. And we're breathing that light now. We're breathing that golden light, and we're allowing ourselves to allow that light to pour through every cell of our body, and we're breathing this energy in. And this golden light, as we breathe it out, is going out into the universe. It is Shakti. We're breathing the breath. We're breathing the breath of God in and out. Our whole body is being filled, and each time, each breath, everything that follows with that, and is allowing us to open, to be in the true center of our being. And whatever arises in this space, of the things that have kept you from knowing your true self, you are breathing out that separateness, because there is only wholeness here and connection. All the feelings of unworthiness, self-pity, attachment to our aches and pains. Breathe it out. Breathe out anger, breathe out doubt, breathe out greed, breathe out lust and confusion. But breathe in God's breath, and breathe out all that impedes your way and keeps you from knowing the divine. Your breath is transforming you. That golden mist is now pouring into your being, and you're focused in the middle of your chest. Take a moment. Can it form a tiny being the size of your thumb, sitting on a lotus flower in the middle of your chest? There is equanimity, radiance, stirring from within. Your imagination is opening you as you look into this being and see a radiant light, and the light is pouring out, and as you meditate deeper, you experience the deep peace emanating from this being. As you feel and look upon it, you realize this is great wisdom, sitting quietly, sitting perfectly poised in my own heart. It is filled with compassion and it is love. Let yourself be filled with this love and allow that tiny being to grow until it fills your whole body and head with its space of golden light, your torso, your arms, legs, the skin of your body. You're with this sense of infinite beingness, infinite wisdom, deep compassion, bathed in bliss, filled with light. You continue to grow. You expand even beyond the limits of the body. You're seeing it all. You're rising out and seeing all the world now as you seem to have grown larger than the universe, to see all as God sees, with compassion, with love, with peace. And you grow into every galaxy and know that you are one. The silence, the peace, all planes of consciousness are within you and all beings are within you. You become the ancient one, but then very gently, very slowly, you let the boundaries of your vast being, this oneness, reestablish itself, and in that silence, all is well. All is well within you. And you start to come back slowly from the journey with the One, coming down into the universe, feeling yourself back upon the earth and slowly feeling yourself moving through the heavens, moving through the city, coming down into the top of your own head, into this room, into this moment, into this space. And you see the being here that is holding all your love and compassion. No clinging, no worry, just purity of intention floods through you. There is a love here, that we speak the word of love and it flows through us. And we are healed. Our heart is healed at every level, and we give thanks. We give thanks to the Holy One. Whatever we name that to be, it is our relationship. It is personal to each and every one of us. And as we pour the ingredient of gratitude with compassion, with love, we become that holy being. So thank you, God, for a few moments to listen, to let go, to be. So grateful for this love. I release this knowing that we all walk with that inner light, rowing our boats gently down the stream, merrily, merrily, merrily. Life is but a dream, and so it is. Thank you for listening. Come back slowly, and Judy lead us into another song. So this one is, How Can Anyone Tell You? So kind of feel the words as you...
Repeat the last line, because it's a lovely, lovely.
Okay, did you get that 3 times through? How could anyone ever tell you? How could they?
How could anyone ever tell
If the ushers would come forward, please. As we prepare to give our offerings this morning, I can feel it. Our hearts are filled with love and so much appreciation for what is offered here, knowing it's for our spiritual well-being. As we're filled with gratitude, we know life stays in balance as we give and we receive. I give thanks for the blessed donations received in the offering this morning and those that come in during the week. I know that each dollar supports this spiritual family in many ways as we grow together, pray together, dance together, and give thanks for all that this center has been blessed with today and always. And so it is. Thank you. So I'll be holding the new membership, introduction to membership, a little short class in the office, about 20 after 11. It's about 10 after now. And there'll be some refreshments in the social hall. Thank you for coming. And if you would like a prayer, the practitioners will be standing by the bell. Very, very happy to lift you up with an affirmative prayer. Reverend Sue, anything more?
She's going to do a song and then
And then you'll talk. Okay, Judy. And the song, we have the words, don't we?
Yes, there is peace on earth.
Yes.
Finally,
All
we're
right.
gonna sing that one. Okay. You can stand if you'd like.
With God
That's been a while. Thank you, Judy. And thank you, Gwen, for being back there and working on this, making this day happen so beautifully. I want to have you enjoy the sign-ups out there for the parking lot sale. I want to remind you, if you have some time during that particular week, you'll see the dates to help us. That would be lovely. And that song, you know how can anyone ever tell you? That brought up for me a moment with my son. When he had gone to youth group was a powerful experience for our teens. Chris going through his life, his stuff, me and my stuff, and I was in the meditation room and anxious for him to come home. And I was playing that song, and he walks in and just said, "Oh, Mom." You know, I just knew that he received a lot of healing at that retreat that he was at with the youth. And I remember that moment. That's one of those samskaras that just fill you with the love of a mother and a child. So I will never forget that moment. So thank you. Thank you. And enjoy knowing those own stories. Let them come up and let yourself have the holy tears wash over you. Thank you, everyone. Beautiful day.